What's up guys, and welcome to the channel. I know what you're thinking. This video looks and sounds awful, but that's actually on purpose. What we're here to do today, well, I'm gonna show you guys a complete YouTube setup for about $1,000 that's gonna take you from shots like this to something more like this. Today we're going over everything from the camera to the lighting to the audio to the stands and even some freebies at the end, so make sure you stick around for those. I'll make sure and link all the products that I'm going to talk about today in the description below so you can take a look at them for yourselves. That being said, let's take a look at all the gear. Okay, so before we get going, if you're into photography, amateur videography, camera gear, or vlogs, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. So first thing I want to talk about is the camera, and this is the Canon EOS M50. This is a fantastic small mirrorless camera that is fantastic for making videos. What I really like about this camera is, well, number one, I really like the flip out screen. So if I'm filming myself, I can look over at the screen and see exactly what my shot's going to look like. This is the #1 selling mirrorless camera on Amazon, and for a lot of good reasons. The flip out screen is really cool. This camera also does 1080 up to 60 frames per second and 4K at up to 30 frames per second. Where its power really lies is the ease of use and the reliability of the autofocus. Practically anybody can use this camera, and with the fantastic autofocus, it makes it that much easier to get your shot. So it's time for the first gear swap out. I'm gonna take this M50, put it on the tripod, and you're going to be seeing video from this instead of the cell phone from here on out. Okay, so you're now seeing the video from the Canon M50 as well as hearing the audio. And as you can see, it makes a pretty big difference. You get less noise in the shadows, a better color on my skin, I think, and overall just a cleaner image. Next thing we're going to talk about is this. This is the Power DWise lavalier microphone. And this is a small, inexpensive lavalier microphone that goes on, your lapel or a piece of clothing or something like that. And I really like this because it's A, it's inexpensive, and B, it gives you a much cleaner audio track for your videos. Let's plug this in and see just how big of a difference this makes. So tell me, how much better does that sound compared to the camera mic and the iPhone mic? So next, let's talk about lighting. Before we talk about the lighting, let's talk about the stands. They aren't particularly fun to talk about, but they are an essential piece of your kit for making videos. First one up, this is the Amazon Basics light stand, and these come in a pretty inexpensive 2-pack. We're going to use this for the reflector in a little bit, as well as the background light. Next up is the Neewer heavy-duty light stand, and I really recommend getting a heavy-duty light stand for your main light. It just makes you feel more confident that that thing's not going to topple over. Now, let's grab the lights. For the lights, we're talking about 3 lights today. The first is the Godox SL60W. This is an LED light that has 60 watts of output, and it is incredibly bright, but also incredibly affordable. What I really like about this particular light is it is what they call a Bowens mount, which is a universal mount that allows you to attach different things to the light itself, like a softbox or barn doors, or in this case, a Fresnel head. The next light we're going to talk about is the ESDDI PLV 380. This is a small LED panel light that is just super convenient to have around. They're really easy to throw in your bag if you're going out and about and doing some kind of shooting, but I really like it just as a background light. This, in conjunction with like a light modifier, like a gel or something like that, is able to throw some really nice color on the wall to make your scene look more interesting. And the last type of light we're going to talk about today is, well, it's actually something you don't have to buy. It's practical light. Practical light is some source of light in your house that you likely already have. This could be window light, this could be an overhead light, or this could be a lamp. And now I got the lamp back there and it's adding some interest to my scene. I know it all looks a little crazy right now, but it's really gonna come together once we start adding the rest of the lighting in, which I'm gonna do right now. The first light I added was the Godox, and it is 45 degrees up and to my right. So now we're really starting to get somewhere, right? I've added a nice powerful light on me, which allows me to bring the ISO of my camera down, which gives me a cleaner image, darkens my background, and really starts to make the subject, in this case me, stand out in the scene. Let's add the PLV on the wall over there to get some color in the scene as well. The Godox kit actually comes with these color gels, which I use to put in front of my PLV 380 to give me some color to light my scene up in a more interesting way. There we go. So I've got the ESDDI light up on the wall over there, and you can see it gives us a nice blue color, which just adds some additional depth to the scene. As of right now, I've got 4 lights going. One of those is about to get turned off though. So I have my main light to the right, which is the Godox. I have the ESDDI to my left, which is the background light. And I also have my practical behind me here, which is actually just a desk lamp I had around the house. What I really want to do at this point, let's turn off that overhead light and see just how it's looking. There we go. So now we're really starting to get some nice control over what the light looks like with this pretty inexpensive setup. What I don't like though, a couple things, this light on my face over here, as you can see, it is a little harsh, and it also gives me a harsh shadow across my face because of where it's placed, which brings me to the next couple things we're going to talk about, which are light modifiers. The first modifier I want to talk about is a softbox, and this is, well, it's too big. Okay. It's huge. It's so big. This is a Neewer parabolic softbox. And what this does, this is a Bowens mount compatible accessory that's going to snap into my main light up there. And what a softbox does, it diffuses that light. So there's an internal diffusion and an external diffusion that basically makes your big light have to pass through 2 translucent layers, which gives you a more soft look. Let's get that thrown on and see what that looks like. All right, how's that look? So it's a lot softer light source on my face over here, and as you can see, the shadow transitions aren't quite as harsh. The thing I don't really like about this so far is if you look at the left side of my face, I still have a really dark shadow, and really this is easy to solve, and the gear you use to solve it is really inexpensive. What do we use to fix that? Simple, we use a reflector. This is a 5-in-1 reflector from Neewer. As you can see, I really like the Neewer brand. And what this does, this allows you to reflect that big main light source to help fill in those shadows on the side of your face. What we're gonna do, we're gonna use one of those light stands that we talked about earlier and a clamp to put this up over off camera to where it fills in the shadows on my face. By the way, this is the clamp that we're using. This just goes on top of your light stand and has a nice big clamp on there that holds your reflector up. Let's get that up and see what it looks like. There we go. What do you think? So I got my reflector over here just out of the frame and my main light right here. I've got my backlight, I've got my background light. We've got the camera on the tripod. We've got the lapel mic getting the audio. All of this for about $1,000. So do you remember that horrendous iPhone shot that we had at the beginning? Let's look back at that now. If you're into photography, amateur videography, camera gear, or vlogs, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below. And look what we set up now. My question to you, which piece made the biggest difference? Because a lot of people seem to think it's actually the camera that I'm shooting on. The camera makes a big difference, I'm not gonna lie, it really does. But what makes a bigger difference in your shots? It's the lighting, it's the audio, it's having background lighting, it's having practical lighting. All of these things combined give you an image that looks much better than just using overhead lights in a room with a cell phone, no microphone, trying to make great content. And today I put all of these items in an Amazon cart and it totaled right around $1,000. $1,000 for a complete YouTube setup. The nice thing about this too is you can take this pretty much anywhere. Everything packs down pretty small and you can move this around your house. You could go shoot on location somewhere. Now we've come to almost the end of the video, but I do have a couple other things to add to this $1,000 complete YouTube setup that's going to help you make better videos, and these don't actually cost anything. So the first thing, we already talked about it, that's practical lighting. That's the lights that you probably already have around your house. Use those to help you create a more interesting and dynamic scene in conjunction with your nice video lights and see what you can come up with. The second freebie is going to be DaVinci Resolve. DaVinci Resolve is the best thing that could have happened to me when I started making videos because I didn't know anything and I didn't want to spend a ton of money on a super powerful editing software. Resolve is free. Guys, you go to their website and you can get an awesome copy of DaVinci Resolve for free. They do have a paid version of the product, but you just don't miss out on that much. It allows you to quickly edit your videos, cut it up. You can even do effects. It's got a sound editor in there. It's got just so many features and it's free. It's absolutely free. So go on and grab that today and get started learning how to edit if you don't already have some idea how to do that. The next freebie is, well, it's free music for your videos. So one of the best sources you can start out making videos with and get free music from is going to be the YouTube audio library. I wouldn't call it the highest quality music in the world, but there's a lot on there to get started with. And the last thing that's not going to cost you any extra money is education. There are so many sources on YouTube that teach folks how to make videos. Everything I've learned about making videos has come from a YouTube tutorial from a ton of different creators. So all you have to do to learn how to do anything you want to do is jump on the web, do a search, and go crazy. See what's out there, try it out, and then make it your own once you've mastered it. Guys, thanks so much for watching. I know this was kind of a longer video. If you have any questions about any of the gear, please drop them in the comment section below. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video.